We all know that tennis is a very serious sport, but did you know that there's a lot of drama going on behind the scenes? In this video, we'll take a look at all the latest tennis news, from great victories to on-court meltdowns. Stick around to learn all. Nick Kyrgios called the last move of the Wimbledon's final ridiculous to start things off. Rennae Stubbs, a famous tennis player from Australia, ripped into Nick Kyrgios for how he treated his teammates in his player box during the Wimbledon final. During a 4-set loss to Novak Djokovic, Kyrgios yelled at his team a lot. This made viewers and the crowd at center court uncomfortable. As the match went in Djokovic's favor in the second and third sets, the 27-year-old Aussie seemed upset by the lack of energy coming from his player box. The first time he got angry was when he lost his serve for the first time in the fourth game of the second set. He started to chirp at his player box to ask why he had to ask them for help. Later in the set, when he had a great chance to break back at 0-40 but didn't take it, Kyrgios got so angry that he almost threw the match. As Djokovic tied the match, he started yelling at his team after every point. He yelled, "Say something. It's 0-40, damn it. It's 0-40. In the ninth game of the third set, Kyrgios blew a 40-0 lead to give up serve and keep the train wreck going. At deuce, he made a double fault, and then he hit a backhand halfway up the net, giving the Serb a 5-4 lead. It led to another fight with his team, who seemed to have stopped helping him in the right way. Why do you stop? 40-0, 40-15 and you just relax? Why? He called out to them. When Stubbs heard what Kyrgios said, it made her very angry. She called Kyrgios out on Twitter. She wrote, "Honestly, this behavior of yelling at your box because it's not doing what you want is beyond ridiculous. They can't see what's in your head. I understand that this is how he deals with stress, but it's not okay to treat people you love like this all the time." Kyrgios has thanked his team for their support many times during this tournament. He has also said that they have to deal with a lot during his matches. Then comes Barty. "I don't regret retiring, and I have no plans to become a professional golfer." When she was number 1, Barty didn't regret giving up tennis in March when she was 25. She also doesn't plan to start playing golf professionally, putting an end to rumors that she would now focus on that sport. Barty shocked the tennis world when, at the top of her game and just 2 months after winning her 3rd Grand Slam title at the Australian Open, she suddenly announced that she was retiring. She added to rumors that she would become a professional golfer in April by signing up for a series of exhibition tournaments with 23 other famous athletes. Barty, who also won Wimbledon in 2021 and the French Open in 2019, said that she didn't watch the finals at the All England Club last week. She also said that she didn't watch many matches when she was still a professional player. Moscow-born Elena Rybakina beat Tunisian Ons Jabeur in the Wimbledon final on Saturday to become the first player from Kazakhstan to win a Grand Slam singles title. Novak Djokovic won his 7th Wimbledon title on Sunday by beating Nick Kyrgios, an unseeded Australian. Barty plays golf at a club in Queensland with a handicap of 4. She is engaged to a trainee professional, but she says she only plays for fun. "Golf has always been and will always be a hobby. I know what it takes to get to the top of any sport, and I don't want to do the work that's needed," she said. Next, Roger Federer drops out of the ATP rankings for the first time in 25 years. Djokovic and Kyrgios also drop, and Wimbledon doesn't count for any points. Federer tumbled out of the ATP rankings for the first time in 25 years, and Djokovic fell 4 spots to number 7 a day after Wimbledon. Since his debut at age 16, Federer has been in the singles rankings every week. Until Djokovic set the record, he had spent the most time at number 1. Federer was 97th before play started at the All England Club, but he now has 0 points because rankings are based on a player's performance over the preceding 52 weeks, and he hasn't played at all since he made it to the quarterfinals at Wimbledon a year ago. After losing, Federer had his 3rd knee operation in 18 months. Federer, 41 on August 8th, plans to play in Switzerland in October. Last Thursday, he indicated he aspires to compete at Wimbledon next year. Nick Kyrgios fell from number 40 to number 45 despite reaching his maiden Grand Slam final. The WTA and ATP agreed not to provide Wimbledon ranking points since the All England Club excluded Russian and Belarusian athletes due to the Ukraine situation. Djokovic, Kyrgios, and the other players lost their Wimbledon 2021 points on Monday. First Grand Slam win didn't help Elena Rybakina in the WTA rankings. She stayed at number 23, marking her the 2nd lowest woman to win the grass court tournament since 1968. Ons Jabeur, the lady she beat in the final on Saturday, fell from number 2 to number 5. Last year's runner-up, Karolina Pliskova, fell to number 15. Danielle Collins, the Australian Open runner-up, rose to number 7. Emma Raducanu, the US Open winner, rose to number 10. And Coco Gauff, the French Open runner-up, rose to number 11. Iga Swiatek remains number 1 after losing 37 straight matches at Wimbledon. Daniil Medvedev remains on top after missing Wimbledon. He won the US Open last year and Australian Open this year. In other news, Wimbledon champion Novak Djokovic plans to skip the US Open because he still doesn't want to get vaccinated. Novak Novak Djokovic announced just hours after beating Nick Kyrgios in 4 sets to win his 4th straight Wimbledon title that he has no plans to get the COVID-19 vaccine and will not play in the U.S. Open unless the restrictions on entering the country are lifted or he is given a medical exemption. Djokovic said on Sunday, "I'm not vaccinated and I don't plan to get vaccinated, so the only good news I can have is that they got rid of the mandatory green vaccine card, or whatever you call it, to enter the United States or exemption." Daniil Medvedev stopped Djokovic from getting the calendar Grand Slam at last year's U.S. Open. Djokovic had won the first 3 majors of 2021. He was then kicked out of the country and couldn't play at the Australian Open, which started this year. Djokovic, who is 35 years old, won't be able to play down under in 2023 either because he can't get a visa. During his victory news conference on Sunday, he said that he didn't know when he would be able to play again. Djokovic, who is currently number 3 in the rankings, will drop to number 7 on Monday. This is because Wimbledon lost its ranking points this year because it banned Russian and Belarusian players because of the ongoing invasion of Ukraine. If Djokovic can't defend his 2nd place in New York, his ranking will keep going down. The U.S. Open will begin on August 29. Shingo Kunieda wins Wimbledon, making him the first man in men's wheelchair singles history to win all 4 Grand Slams. Shingo Kunieda couldn't win Wimbledon, so he asked Roger Federer for tips on how to play on grass. That solved the problem. Kunieda won the wheelchair singles title at Wimbledon for the first time and his 28th Grand Slam singles title overall on Sunday. It was his 4th major singles title in a row, and it gave him the chance to finish his Grand Slam. The 38-year-old Japanese player beat British player Alfie Hewitt 4-6, 7-5, 7-6, 10-5 on number 3 court. This came a day after he and Argentine partner Gustavo Fernandez won the doubles title. Kunieda had only made it to one Wimbledon's single final before 2019, where he came in 2nd place. He is the first man to win the Grand Slam in men's wheelchair tennis, and he now has all 4 major titles at the same time, after winning the Australian Open, the French Open, and the U.S. Open in the same year. Hewitt was trying to win his 6th Grand Slam title, which would have been his first at Wimbledon. Kunieda beat him in the final at both the U.S. Open last year and the Australian Open this year. Kunieda has won a singles title at the Australian Open, the French Open, and the U.S. Open a total of 21 times. He has also won 22 Grand Slam doubles titles. On Saturday at Wimbledon, he won his 4th of these titles. Unfortunately, that is all the time we had for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and follow to stay updated on all the latest tennis news. Till next time, cheers!